Okay, so today I'm going to go through the new feature that allows you to put images into any of the editable text areas in the portfolio series. So on this home page here, we scroll down, we've got some text, we've got some headings and so on, but let's say we wanted to put an image into this area here along with the text. So we go to Manage Pages, obviously to the splash page, and then Edit Text, because that's where we want to add the image, and hit the Edit button. Let's give ourselves a bit more room here. So let's say we wanted to put an image in here, in between these two paragraphs. All we do is we place the cursor where we want the image to be, and we click on this image button on the toolbar here, and we upload an image. So let's say I want to add in this picture. So I'm uploading it now, and the system automatically resizes it to 1200 pixels on the longest edge. I've chosen a portrait orientation image, so it's 1200 pixels high and 800 wide. I click Save, and there we are. It's inserted it into the text at that point. So let's just save that and see what that looks like on the front end without doing anything else. So refresh the page there, and there's our lovely image. Now that's pretty big. It's a portrait image, so we'd probably want to make that a bit smaller. If it was a landscape image, we might want it to go full width, but let's say we want to make this smaller. We go into our Edit Text again, and here's our image. So we just click on the image and we see this blue box appears around. We grab one of these handles and we make it smaller. So that looks about half the size. If I want to check how big it is, I can just click on there and it'll tell me it's now 770 pixels high rather than the 1200 it was before. So I'll click Save on that and go back to the front end. And there we are. So it's smaller and is a more suitable size for the page. Okay, so let's say we didn't want it there, we wanted it centered in the page. Go back here, Edit, click on the image, and then just click the Center Align button here as you would with any text. You can see that immediately jumps across, back to the front end, refresh, and there we are, nicely centered image. Alright, so now let's say that we don't want the image on its own. We want to have this text appear up to the right hand side, and we want the image on the left. So what we do to achieve that is we get back into our editor, click on the image, and then we say Align Left, and there we go. Now we can see that all of the following text has just moved up the page next to the image. But here we've got the image, we've got the text butting right up against the image, and we don't want that. So we click on the image button again, go to Advanced, and we say that we want 20 pixels of horizontal space around to the left and to the right of the image. We can add some in the vertical space as well, but for the moment I'm just going to put it as horizontal space. We can say immediately that pushes the text away, and I'm happy with that for the moment, so I click Save, go back to the front end, and there we are. So we've got our image, we've got the text to the right, and that keeps flowing down, and it all flows around the image nicely. Now let's say that I only wanted this paragraph of text next to the image, and this is a whole new section about something else, so I'd really like to have this starting underneath the image. So to achieve that, what we do is we go back to our Edit, we find the heading here that we want to move after the image. Let's again give ourselves a bit more space. So I click get the cursor at the beginning of this line, this heading here, and I look for this little button here. You can see there it's got an image, it's got the T and it's got the arrow to the left, and if you hover over it, it tells you move below image. So I click that, and lo and behold, there we are, it goes down there. Now I'm just going to give that a little bit more space by putting an extra carriage return in, and on the blank line I'm going to put a single space because otherwise it will ignore it and close up the gap again. Click save, and there we are. The heading has moved down underneath that image, and if I go to the front end, there we are. So we've got the level, we've got the heading appearing underneath there, we've got a nice gap between that and the image, and we've got our text to the right of the image. Okay, so that's the basics of this particular feature. Now you can use this anywhere that you've got a text area. So you can also do it on the About page. So if you wanted to have an image down here with some of this text, or on down the page, then you can just do exactly the same thing, same process as I did before. So I hope you find this feature useful. If you have any questions, get in touch with us through the usual email or telephone, and we'll be happy to help.